Hey guys, this is Turek, and today I'm going to be doing a review of chapter 1121 of One Piece. Uh, I think we're finally at the very, very end of the arc. We're going to have probably go into like a almost post arc thing soon enough, because we'll get into that later. But so in the last, my screen here, in the last chapter, the we finally got the robot finally got to talk to I think what I call him, Emmett. He finally got to talk to is that where it was? Yeah, he started talking to him there. Let's see. Like that. He punched it. Yeah. So yeah, in the 1119 it was in 19 I'm just going to 19 now. He and the robot had come out, he helped the straw hats and uh the giant on their ship, and then and now he got to talk to Luffy in this last chapter, and apparently he's just communicating with some kind of telepathy. Is that what you call it? It's probably just because Luffy can hear the voice of all things. It's very similar to what Zunisha's doing. And the funny thing is, I just realized um, when yeah when okay, when when uh when oh, maybe that's why when Zunisha was talking to Luffy and uh, Momonosuke, he was it seemed to hurt. My first thought, I didn't know, I couldn't think of why that would be, but now I'm just wondering if that's the if the being a super giant elephant, if it was his voice was technically loud, the voice in his head was loud to the other two, and they had to he had to, like, maybe Zunisha had to, like, sort of lower his voice, as it were. The robot seems to have no problem with that, as he says, talks to him here. Yeah, here it is. And he was like, "Oh, Jorbo, it was nice to see you." And Luffy's still like, "Hey, who's he talking about?" So at some point, I'm trying to think, what point would Luffy realize who Jorbo is? Maybe Robin's gonna have to tell him about that, because no, well, Zunisha and Zunisha and the robot could explain it. But I think the robot's about to also save the Straw Hats. Um, just like Atlas in the last chapter two, Atlas had to self destruct to save the Straw Hats and the Sunny from Ethan, and so I think it looks apparent that the Iron Giant Emmett is also going to do that. That's where that chapter ended. But anyways, I'm going to step back a sec. What I was going to say before. The um yeah, Luffy, does the Giants recognize Luffy's form, but they only know about Nika, as far as I can tell, right? They didn't say anything about Joy Boy either. Well, they weren't. Yeah, obviously, like Dory and Brocky are, they live longer than humans, but they even they can't go that far back. Even the oldest giant in the story was was the one that Big Mom killed as a child was not that old. So uh the thing with the Joy Boy, the Luffy learning about Joy Boy, is probably gonna have to come through Robin or Zunisha. I'm thinking, because that someone, because yeah, well, like, Zunisha can just outright tell him. Hopefully, if he sees him again soon. And with Robin, she read about Joy Boy, but I don't think there was enough information on that poneglyph from Fishman Island for her to realize that Joy Boy would be this. Well, no, that's right. But now, uh, uh, Vegapunk just brought Joy Boy in one of these earlier chapters. So we just right here. So maybe that will be enough for her to go through and figure that out. So, anyways, yeah. So that's my just pondering on that. How Luffy, when Luffy will finally be able to piece together that he is has powers from a person who also stood up against the government uh, before him. uh, so yeah, and then the other chapter also brought on a very uh, uh, sad revelation that the people of the D clan had been are were being persecuted still by the government, at least as far back as the earlier in the lifetime of Clover, the Professor Clover, Robin's mentor at who from her childhood home. Um, the we saw in a flashback him talking to Vegapunk and trying to implore Vegapunk to help in Clover's research along with his other associates on wait, what was Robin's island called? Oh, I can't think of it now. But it was he revealed that how his inspiration to do this is that the government had killed Clover's older brother had been killed when he was a young man or no, probably a child. This looks like he was very young when they just show the silhouette of it here, and he um, lied to them about not being related, and he escaped death through that, and was inspired to start searching for the truth, which from that point it seems. So I'm wondering how much, like, what made him realize the connection with the poneglyphs? I wonder. Yeah, that's something too. How do some members of the D clan understand that the poneglyphs are linked to their heritage, their ancestry? There must seems to be Clover figured that out either by chance or someone may have told him that. That's something like the people like Garp and Dragon and don't understand it. Blackbeard, he seems like someone who understands a little bit of it too. Obviously, he's gone around. But you know what? What it is with Blackbeard? I bet with Blackbeard, he he understands. That's two things actually. But that links nicely back with perhaps with Clover. He maybe Blackbeard lineage has been his direct lineage of like his fathers and mothers have been directly persecuted, hunted down in the past, and that's why Blackbeard is so angry. He wants to take down the government now because maybe it does stem a little bit from losing family members, and also I wonder if he understands the maybe he yeah oh yeah with the poneglyph. He wants to pursue the poneglyphs and go after the One Piece, so he knows enough about that somehow too. So I'm wondering where he got that information from to help him realize this direct course to do go for that. Now he went around, his long-winded plan with Whitebeard to get his power, but he knows how to get to the One Piece now, and it just seems to me he must have had a little help with that to set him on that course. Because think about this, Roger now, I think it's been 25 years they said since Roger died. Everyone else has been looking for the One Piece, but they didn't know about where to find it. So at some point, I can say the same with Kaido and Big Mom too, I guess. At some point, they must have realized the importance of those poneglyphs and the rarity of the red ones, the road poneglyphs. Oh yeah, so only at that point we saw like Odin and his retainers, because he probably told them about it, understood its importance too. Roger only figured this out because he was hearing the voice of all things and was being guided. That's why I'm wondering if like Blackbeard could be. There's another thing. What if Blackbeard's being guided that way? Because Luffy didn't know. Luffy wasn't at first. He has that, but he was just on an adventure, knowing that the Grand Line is where the One Piece should be, and now he's just by chance, when he got to Zou, found the road poneglyph, and they explained it to him. The what's his name? The cat and the dog retainers of Momosuke were explaining it to him. And one last thing on this, I just was realizing, how is Shanks or even like Law and Kid if they saw how are they planning on how is let's just go Shanks first. How is he planning on deciphering the road poneglyphs? Um, Luffy has Robin. Blackbeard acquired and kidnapped Pudding, so they have ways to read the poneglyphs now. But how is Shanks planning on doing that? Uh, I just realized that a few days ago. It's like, okay, wait a minute. He wants to go get the One Piece. Everyone wants to go get the One Piece. This is what this chapter is going to go into that a little bit. But how is anyone else going to be able to read those poneglyphs unless they so Shanks just acquired the reading the poneglyphs from Kid. Well, that was just in the anime. In the chapter it was a while back. Was that 1079 of the manga? He got the poneglyphs. So he's had them a while here. So he may be going somewhere now to get them translated, I guess. And another question with that. One last thing. I'm sorry, I've got this tangent. This is why I should I should have done this as a separate video, maybe. Why is will Shanks know where to find the last poneglyph? We saw through that flashback with Blackbeard and Aokiji that they have an idea of this about this guy who now people are thinking is that new might be that new that not new that newly revealed warlord that Ace defeated. Maybe he has the poneglyph and is going around holding it. And they were one of Black who was that was a one of the other guys were saying, "Oh, there's a story about this guy going around and the ship, mysterious ship, and like whirlpools or something, and he has the last poneglyph." So Shanks and Blackbeard knows about that, but we don't know. No one else does. So how Shanks gonna do that too? So anyway, yeah, the persecution of the D people. This is where I started this tangent. They were obviously doing that for some point, and we don't know why. That again, I said that in the last chapter. Maybe that's why Law had his name because Corazon must have known that about that because he worked for the government. He was undercover there. He was working under Sengoku, so he would know somehow. And he's a celestial dragon or former one, so he would maybe they did have stories about that there are people that are their enemies. So somehow he knew that. So he had Law hide his true name in order to protect him from that. It seems. So, anyways, after all that, yeah, Atlas. So the last part of the chapter had ended off with here the Iron Giant facing down Top Man and Peter, who's prepared to do one final thing to try and defeat them. He had tried to use some kind of punch attack or something, and that didn't work. So he's damaged up here, but they're still going to destroy him because the broadcast is still going on. Though it looks like at the end in this chapter of what we're going to cover now, it may have finally just ended. All right, so let's get into this. So this is chapter 1121. The chapter here is titled "The Ebb and Flow of the Ages." But we get into it with back with Luffy's group, and they are in a little bit of pinch here with Saturn has landed on their ship in the last chapter at the back end, and he's gonna try and make sure they can escape. So he's there. Peter and Top Man, like as I just said, is facing off against the Iron Giant. Atlas slowed down Ethan. He's probably still on top though. He's just recovering from her attack. Atlas's sacrifice there, and Mars was blown away by Luffy's combo attack with like Sanji, Frankie, Bonney, etc. So everyone's almost able to escape here. It's ready to get out of here. We gotta get rid of Saturn here, and we may be in the clear. And we've already jumped ahead of where he's attacking around, and the giants though have formed up like almost like a phalanx. If you ever watched like the movie 300 and seen how they showed the Spartans fighting, that was a style of fighting that's been used throughout history, and it's where you form up ranks and with your shields up, and that's what the giants are doing here. He's using his Saturn's using his um, point and tentacle like spider legs now to try and attack them with their. And those Luffy warns them here, like, don't let those things touch it because they're also poisonous. So it's not just that they're sharp and could pierce you and cut you up. They're gonna poison you as well. So they're so we still see. I don't know if they're being pursued yet, but it looks like they're drawing away from the Marines. So they're I don't know. That was something too. I wonder if the Marines are gonna have to say, yeah, we successfully this. Like, are they even gonna say that they were Buster calling it? Like, what? How did they? That's something too. What happened with they? I wonder how they covered up what happened at Annie's lobby. Um, because of Spondum's incompetence, they he actually clicked that special addendum mushy and and yeah, let's sit like this actually. He he called had that Buster call called upon Annie's lobby, which was really stupid, by the way. Don't you think they still? I know everyone, it was like that should have been recalled. Like, it's Annie's lobby. There would have to be someone else to approve it. That seems really stupid, plot wise. Like, realistically, I should say that Spondum would have the power to call a Buster call and not have like an admiral at least approve that, or even just send Goku say, wait a minute, no, you can't just Buster call in his lobby. Well, you have to evacuate all the citizens first. Anyway, so same thing. The story, did they cover it up somehow with saying, oh, Annie's lobby was just destroyed by the Straw Hat pirates came there. There was a big duke out with our Cypher Pole and the Marines, and it just got beat up. And they probably had to tell all the Marines, like, no, don't tell them about the Buster call. We got to keep that down. We can't, lose face as the Marines, showing that we messed up by destroying one of our most important island bases. So I wonder how that went down. The same thing here. They're probably going to just say, Luffy came here. We tried to destroy him. There was no Buster call. They probably won't bring that up either. And he killed. And he's the one who killed Vegapunk. They're gonna. That's the story they already had. That got thrown out there, and now everyone's gonna really not be happy with Luffy at this point. So, anyways, sorry. How did I get on a tangent? Anyways, yeah, the Giants are holding back Saturn, and Luffy's in his Gear 5 still, and he's getting ready to help the Giants and winds up an attack. And at this point, though, Bonney steps up, and we see her slowly. She's transforming back into her Gear 5 form, and she leaps up there. Oh no, he did hit her. No, that's right. He tries to strike at her. I don't think he even realized that was her, though. But he goes at her, and she leaps up in her Gear 5 and form. And this is where Saturn's this is the first time Saturn's seeing her like this, and she gets up there, and we cut away though, unfortunately. But she's getting ready to help Luffy here, and so we see here. So we cut away though. I gotta pull this up. We cut away to seeing. I think this is Full Island. Come on, there it is. I'm trying to pull up a. Could we see? Yeah, that's that character. We go to it looks like it's either Full Island or probably is. So, and they're watching the screen, and is that the Marines maybe? Some of them look like pirates. I'm not sure what place this is. But they're listening to Vegapunk, and he says a day of awakening is coming, where everything, all these truths and secrets that the government's been hiding from the Void Century is gonna be uncovered. And as he's doing that, we also switch here. We see Shirahoshi and Vivi briefly, because their importance to this is highly, up there. And uh, so he's kind of like going over like a little, how do you call it? Coming back on stuff here, and I already said. And he continues saying, we now know that there's the technology of that place is that time period is still being used, and that there are people who are being persecuted and needlessly by the government. Uh, and as he's doing that, we cut to one more area we haven't seen in a while. That being Skypea, and we see Conus and I don't know, was that little girl, Asia? Asia, is that her name? Looking at the characters on my other screen, they're they're coming back from someplace. Oh yeah, there's the snake in the corner too. Um, and there's some other characters there. I can't remember all their names. I got them here, but anyways, they're coming back. And you know what? They're probably not even aware of what's going on down there. They don't use Den mushies, do they? Um, and most of the world doesn't even know there are Sky Islands, so they're probably pretty oblivious to this. Excuse me a sec. So as we start doing this now, as Vegapunk's message continues, we switch briefly to a bunch of those scenes. We see some different flashbacks of other characters and things that are related that they've heard that are related to what Vegapunk is talking about. Um, we first cut to seeing Kuma in the present, laying against the deck. Yeah, there we see him that he's behind the giants there, and uh, they cut to a little flashback, the flashback briefly of him with uh, asking when he asked Vegapunk about what was so special about me as a buccaneer, and we still don't get an answer on that. I'm still wondering, like, too, that like something unique, like what I was talking about before, like Big Mom or Blackbeard being different. uh, next we cut to Marco, and as he's listening to this, he's remembering a story when Whitebeard was telling him about there was a kingdom of gods that lived up on the Red Line, which I think he's referencing the Lunarian story there. And when we actually cut to a scene next where we see a king, where someone was telling him, "Oh, you're a Lunarian." Oh, I got this on. Get the air on. You're a Lunarian, and the government would pay $100 million to anyone who would turn you in to them. And then we switch to Pudding as well, and see her with her three eyes. And I don't know if she's definitely still that scene there in a prison, a cell somewhere. And I wonder if she's listening to the message there. They're probably listening to it, Bill, down there with maybe her guards, the one that Blackbeard would have guarding her. Actually, that's interesting too. We never saw anyone else with the Three-Eye Tribe, right? We don't know anything about where they lived. We know that we got because we got with King. He's probably the last Lunarian there is, but we also knew where he came from. They used to live on the top of the Red Line, and were chased off and killed off by the government. But we don't know where Pudding's ancestry, her father, where he came from. Because we also know Big Mom like ships off the husbands when when they when she's done with them. So anyways, yeah, we're cutting to all these different little scenes of people who know of stuff or are directly related to this information, to the government's malfeasance and crimes against these other peoples. And that's right. So they got the Buccaneers and the Lunarians who have both been persecuted by the government as well. Man, they just want to go after everyone like that, don't they? There's something there. It's like, were those races allies maybe to the government? What if that's what it was? Not to the government, to Joy Boy's side. That would be a nice, neat twist. So now we switch back to Saturn and Bonnie and Luffy. And I think it's Bonnie that's screaming Nika. She's powered up into, like I said, her copy kind of Luffy's Gear 5, and Saturn sees her and he wants to take her out. Now he focuses his attack toward her, and she screams at him, "You're mine!" And you can see all her. So in this scene here, all her pent up frustration with him is coming out, and she's preparing to use Luffy's ability, like her version of it, to attack him. And Saturn looks at her and he starts yelling back at her like, "Yeah, you fool! You're just copying a power that you can never comprehend." And he's kind of like, he's kind of like, "I'm gonna finish you here" type of speech. And so wait, I gotta get this double page spread up now. Let's see, where is it here? So right here, as he's about to attack her, Luffy stops him. He screams, "Enough!" And is like, he goes in and starts. What does he do? Oh, he kicks. Yeah, this is why I have to have this other screen. He kicks away Saturn's attack from Bonney, as she's still like, she's kind of like, you can see her kind of like charging up a punch. So Luffy stops Saturn's attack in order to allow her to do this. And now we start going back to all these memories, specifically of Bonney saw of either herself or the one she saw of Kuma, I should say. So yeah, we start with Kuma's. We cut back to that moment where Saturn was looming over Kuma at God's Valley, and it was saying your kind are only meant can only be a slave or die. Uh, and then we cut briefly to Bonney. She's starting to say like, "Oh, how dare you, with all those crimes you did to things you did to my daddy and what you did to my mommy." And actually, for some reason, even as we do this, we see briefly Kizaru and Sentomaru there. I don't know why he's adding that, because it's not quite related to this. But so then we switch to a different. We switch back to her remembering what Saturn said earlier about, "Oh, your mother was part of my experiments, and that's why you have your power." Wait. So who says that? So there's a part here where someone says, "How dare you call yourself a god?" Is that supposed to be Saturn? Oh yeah, that was okay. Yeah, I think no, maybe that was her. Was that back when she? That was the point where he was holding her in his hand. Anyway, so we switched to her, like a memory she has, probably the last memory she had of her mom. It doesn't show her face though, probably because that was when she already had the blue scale, I bet. Ginny, poor Ginny, but it's just mommy. It's this her Ginny saying, "Oh, Bonney, say hi to mommy." Uh, oh, I think that was just that part, yeah, where Bonney was saying, "Oh, God's Nika exists." Like that's right. 'Cause that was that moment where Saturn was challenging her and like her faith, so to speak, her belief in Nika, and that was her making her powers fail to work. And then she saw Luffy, and that reinvigorated her and inspired her again to um, uh, fight back. And that's where she's at now. Now with Luffy's help, she's even using his own powers. And there's a great moment here where she does this in a very satisfying way. So she's crying here, and she still continues to rant at Saturn, like, and we see a flashback of her and Kuma doing the Nika Joy Boy dance. She's talking about, "I wanted to be a hero who could save people." I think that may be from the flashback bit. And she goes on saying, "All I ever wanted was to live in peace, and being alone for so long made me want to die." So I'm wondering if she's probably talking about when, maybe that's when she's thinking about when Kuma was forced to start doing his warlord stint with under to help her. She started feeling really alone because, like, I don't know, were her other friends or Kuma's friends maybe not allowed to stay there? Maybe they were only allowed to visit at certain times. So she goes back to and then we see a flashback. Well, it's not really a flashback because it's never actually happened this way. But we show all those. Oda put in a very cute scene where it shows Kuma and Ginny together. It's with and Kuma's holding up Bonney as a baby. Uh, and she goes on pointing out, I owe everything to my mom and dad. And in that little scene, it shows like them saying, "Thank you, Bonney. We were glad you were born." So yeah, all this she goes up with all this pent up energy, showing all these important memories to her, and all the things he said to her to try and bring her down. And so she gears up her fist, and she's basically pulling a gear third type punch again. You can see this great part of the double spread with her and Luffy side by side, both of them hockeying up. And he's got just both his fists up. He hasn't done any kind of stretching, but she stretches her right arm up in a punch, and yeah. Wait, how's this going on? Okay, there's a more speech from Kuma, but I'm gonna finish this shot with the fight. So uh, Saturn's like, "Oh, you insects! How dare you attack me?" And so she calls it liberating Nika punch, and she swings in that punch dead center towards Saturn's face. Meanwhile, Luffy starts doing a Gatling style attack. My cat insisted on coming in. You can see it back there. Uh, so yeah, they do a combo move. She does a gear third. What is that? Grizzly Magnum type punch or whatever. I think that's the name of the one he used that calls that one. Um, and before I cut back to Vegapunk's speech, yeah, we see them successfully pummel him so much that he's got holes across all his faces, and some of his legs have even come off, and they throw him into the water. So let me go back now, though. That was so good. This is such a good spread. But as we do that, we cut to this part here. We see what's Frankie's brother's name again? We see Frankie's brother from on the Water 7. Okay, so yeah, so Vegapunk. We go back to Vegapunk's message, and we see wait, what's his name? Cat. She keeps on coming in, and now I gotta leave the door open for her. Okay, Iceberg. His name is Iceberg. I keep forgetting. So we cut to him, and we see Nami's friends on Weathevaria and Judge and Caesar. So, and this is happening. We're back to Vegapunk's message. When he was saying that, what was it? That about, oh, there will be a day. Yeah, that's right. There will be a day where everything is day of reckoning is coming. And he says then we go back here. Then he says on that day, yeah, all the answers, all those answers will come forth. So that were, I guess what he's trying to say is like all the answers related to everything I've just told you will become to light after that. And he's saying like on that day too, we must be ready to protect ourselves. And no matter what happens, he's talking about I have faith in humanity's capacity for wisdom, and I have faith in science. I think he's like yells that one. Yeah, he's like yelling that one aloud. And as he's doing that, we cut briefly to the scene Vegapunk's the island burning up still, and then we go to. Oh, there it is. They did show him. I thought they didn't. But the Iron Giant, we don't see much of the Iron Giant in here except right this small panel in this double page where he's still fighting the two. It's hard to tell. It looks like Peter's about to swallow him up. He's like behind him or something, and we can't see what he's quite doing to fight back. Anyways, and then so Vegapunk's message goes back to about how Roger died 25 years ago, and it has now been 2 years since Whitebeard passed. And so a new age now is coming into play with all these passing of old legends. So hold on. Now this is where the part where the page where Saturn gets thrown in the boat out of the water. Okay, and we cut away from his message. Hold on. And he goes on saying, there are certain individuals who can't be oppressed. So he's saying that no matter what the government tries to do, there will always be someone fighting back against them. Hopefully, I think he's implying like the D clan, or maybe he's also referring to like how pirates in general, people who just go out there. I think that would be properly more called like outlaws, like people who defy the government, not necessarily like they're pirates in the more traditional sense too. But anyways, as we do that, we cut briefly to seeing Dorian Bragi and cheering, and the others cheering on at the success of getting rid of Saturn off their ship, and we see one last scene of Bonney steering her Gear 5, using crying her in like probably like a satisfaction of sorts of the release of all that anger she's had there, and Luffy just starts laughing again and just saying, "Yeah, we really sent him flying, didn't we, Bonney?" um, and we see one of those scene of Kuma, and it almost looks like he's smiling a bit there. Where are we? Here we go. So we cut to we finally see the Sunny. Now they finally see the Sunny. Everyone else goes, yeah, I think Sanji saw him in the last chapter, but now the ship starts coming up over them, and Dorian Bragi see it, and like, wait a minute, ain't that your ship? And I don't know what they're about to do. Is that going to land right on top of them? It's almost right over them. And we switch to the passengers on the ship. We see Usopp, Chopper, and Jinbei, and Zoro too, all hanging on there. Actually, Usopp's kind of like freaking out, and as usual, and while Chopper's still just hanging on. He looks like, is he hanging on Jinbei's knot on his hair? He is, I think. So we cut to one other part of Vegapunk's message, and wait, what did he say there? How did he say that? Hold on. Okay, so he's going on about there are certain individuals who can't be oppressed, and he says such individuals are likely closest to the truth. And then there's like a cut off here, and then he goes, was it a coincidence, or was this all something Roger actually planned to set in motion? And I'm going to stop there and say, yes, I think Roger planned this. The part, I think I brought this up before, but I think it's worth saying again, that when we learned from Rayleigh that Roger turned himself in, as we've learned more about the poneglyphs and bits and pieces about the Void Century, I am 100% sure that Roger wanted to have the next person find that he knew someone else was going to have to find the One Piece, or find I'm guessing that One Piece is where he called it in order to, well, it kind of became a name that everyone used after when he called it. I left it all in one piece, or how do you say it? Something like that. So Rayleigh even said, right, that how do you say that? Like, we were there too soon. We're just pirates, so we didn't fully understand it either. So Vegapunk here brings this up finally, and we cut briefly to a flashback there where Roger had said that, like, my treasure is there to find. I left it in one place for for anyone who can find it. So we're getting near the end here. And we start seeing other. We cut to Rayleigh one more time, just because he's fallen asleep at this point, and he's at the bar, and Shaka's just leaving him there. She's taking a coat and putting it over him, and just saying, "Oh, Rayleigh, you're gonna catch a cold if you stay here and sleep stay here." And then we cut the pirates now. Now this is almost certainly Full Ed Island or some other place. With pirates, because they're, now that he's brought up Roger, they're hoping he's gonna maybe tell him where the One Piece is, and it's not gonna be quite that. He doesn't have the road pilot list, but maybe they don't understand it. But they're all like, "Oh, Vegapunk, now you're talking. We can see where you go with this story." And then Vegapunk's next part is like, "Oh, unfortunately, we have no guarantee that the Joy Boy, it will be found by someone that Joy Boy would want. Oh, okay. So he is implying that I didn't really catch that in my first reading. He's definitely implying here that Vegapunk is implying that Joy Boy must have left something on that island and then Roger found it. Oh, okay. Wow, why haven't I thought about that before? That would be a good topic for another video. What would Joy Boy leave there? The truth, probably more or less. And we know no weapons there. Probably the Pluton's there. I was going to say Pluton, but no. Now we know it's that Wano. Anyways, let me get this other page up. We're doing it. We're cutting around to other places too. We see. I think this is This is probably linked with the pirates just now. The we see Hachinichu. Oh, look how bruised up the skull part is now from the fight there. Anyway, we see some people yelling at like, "Oh my gosh, when's the Commodore gonna get back? I can't wait much longer. We gotta go out there and find the One Piece now." And then we cut to Shanks's ship, and he must be listening to this, and he's being like Rayleigh. He's we don't see him. We just see the ship, but someone's saying, "Captain, you're drinking too much again," and he's all drunk already. He's like, "Yeah, no, I'm not. Leave me alone." And he's probably reminiscing the way Rayleigh is about Roger and after listening to this story. Oh, so now we cut to Buggy's place, and we see other people. His crew are saying, "Oh my gosh, Buggy, there's no doubting your greatness now. You were right to want to go after the One Piece. This proves that we can go find it." And we see a brief shot of Crocodile and Mihawk. They still look pretty upset. They're probably still upset about how Buggy one up them, kind of with the speech to let's go find the One Piece. So we switch here to the Navy, and there are some people saying we can't just stand by. Then if there truly is this One Piece out there that Roger left, we have to go get it. Implying this is a good thought too. They want to make sure that there's no other new pirate crowned or anointed like king of the pirates. And yeah, let's go find it right away before the pirates do. And I think this is probably someone. I imagine this is someone talking with a Kainu or some other high rank officer there. And the other person's like, "Wait a minute. What if we do something like that? Who's going to protect the people? We can't just go send all our ships out there to this place we don't even know where it is." And then Vegapunk's final part is, "There's no stopping this now." And he starts, "The fate of the world will be decided by whoever finds it." And we get this one last big shot. Wait, where is it? This is a really cool shot too. And so last double spread shows all these different characters together. And I'm going to listen off so we see Shanks, Luffy, Blackbeard, and Buggy on top. So we got the four emperors. And then down below, we have a Kainu, Dragon, Emu, and who's that with the sword? Who is that? Oh, is that supposed to be that mysterious person maybe with the last poneglyph? And then the last side, on the other side, we see Kobe, Akiji, Sabo, and what's his name? That Shanks' father is right there. What was his name again? Godfall or no? That's the other guy's name. Right, Garling. It's we see Garling there. I'm not sure who that's supposed to be with that sword though. So we get all these shot these people. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 8, 12 characters there in that one page. Yeah, his final thing is saying, yeah, it all depends on who will find the One Piece, and that end chapter ends right there. And it's interesting they show Emu there. So this is the end of the chapter. So I wonder if Emu knows what's there. I think I talked about this before. I have a feeling he doesn't, but he could surmise what it might be because if it's likely he is the one who fought and took down took down Joy Boy. So we Jeez, there's so much to go unpack here. Actually, I already thought of the next video. I'm going to do one on like the call it like the follow of Vegapunk's message. So now once again, just like what Whitebeard did, Vegapunk has reignited the flame to many people who are listening. Everyone heard this message now. I think we can say that the Gorosei have successfully failed. They're probably still going to try and destroy that robot, but this looks like the end of Vegapunk's message. Boy, did he cover a lot in there too. He brought up Joy Boy. He brought up stuff about the Void Century. Now he linked it all to the One Piece. So now we can point out sure that. Also, what does that mean with how Vegapunk pieced this together with the poneglyphs? And oh my God, there's so many questions to go over here. I'm looking at my cat; she's wandering around here. So, anyways, yeah, Vegapunk really covered a lot of stuff here. But the best part really of this chapter 2 was just watching friggin' Bonney finally. Like we had that shot with Kuma, his success and his punch to Saturn many chapters ago. But now we got to see Bonney herself, because I don't think she hit him before. She was fighting with Ethan about 5-6 chapters ago, but no, I don't think she had a chance to actually fight Saturn. So this was very satisfying to watch her get all that pent up anger. And so, anyways, yeah, Vegapunk just went through a lot of stuff. I'm actually just think I'm gonna save some of my tangent to another video now. Just the only thing now is like now we just gotta see like can the Straw Hats really escape? We're like right in the precipice. Whatever the of them escaping. The Straw Hats on top successfully got off are getting off the ship, off the island there. The Great Eric is now moving away. Looks like now it's still. Are they still being shot at there? There isn't this one other panel I saw where it does look like there are some of the ships, marine ships, pursuing them. So still gonna have to outrun them. But what else? So, my God, yeah, Vegapunk's message here was just great. There's just so much stuff he covered here that that's really gonna make the lives of the Gorosei for the foreseeable future quite the headache here, and the Marines, because now you're gonna probably have scores of pirate ships going around the Grand Line, especially the New World area, thinking they can find this island, which is something interesting too. Like, what's keeping anyone from finding it so far because they keep implying like it's at the end of the Grand Line. So I'm sure like Big Bell and Kaido even and many other people that's like, oh, let's just go to where the red wall is or red line there. How does that look again on there? There's like a spot there. Yeah, because it would reach. See, there's Reverse Mountain. We enter. I should look that up quickly. So that's right. They're the New World. I'm looking at this one image someone made of the Grand Line. That's right. So when they entered there's the East Blue, right? So they entered Reverse Mountain there, and came into the Grand Line right there. And then so they must have circled. Yeah, the map's going that way. And then the other when they get to the red line over there, that's where Fishman Island is. And now they're circling the New World. So they got to be. Yeah, they're coming back full circle to the to Reverse Mountain. So I'm wondering if I'm sure, like I just said, someone must have gone there. That part of Red Mountain, the Reverse Mountain area there, doesn't look like. Actually, it looks like the way they draw that. I wonder if that's based on something Oda did. Yeah, wait, right here. Oh, never mind. What I'm trying to see here is that it looks like the red. There is no way to. It looks like the other end. This might be other renderings of people make it, but there is. It looks like the way the Reverse Mountain is there's a way to get in there, of course, from each of the blues, and then they go up there, and then you got to go down that one path down. It takes you into the Paradise side, where Whiskey Peak and the other sides were. And But the other side, where the Straw Hats are heading toward now, it just is a big part of the wall there. But where you probably though you can see on the map the two entrances from the North Blue and the West Blue. They're coming, and then it's just this big wall with I'm gonna put this image up actually. I guess, and you know, I'm just thinking that someone must have gone looking around that area, but never found the one Raftel. So what I'm trying to get at with this long tangent was like, what could there be something else keeping Raftel from being found? Because also we know the Grand Line is extremely dangerous. So I'm just thinking like maybe there's some other kind of weather something, or I'm thinking like with some kind of You ever play actually I'll just use a reference. If you play Zelda Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, there's the Lost Woods where the Great Deku Tree is and where the Master Sword was housed, and you can't walk in there without following the right path. You will go in this fog and get turned around to the entrance. I'm picturing something like that, like a fog in the water. What is that called? Is that mist or fog? Probably fog. Maybe I'm wrong, but and there's an area over there near the end where there could be miles and miles of fog, and that's why no one can find the raftel, and you can't just guess and keep searching, and you could get lost or run out of food or something. So that's why it's going to be necessary to have all the poneglyphs and find those 4 islands that they are marked on there, that probably like the latitude longitude thing that like Nami said she can like make a map out of that will pinpoint right where it is, so you can somehow like just get a beat in on it. So, but if there's like a fog or something, I don't know anything about nautical stuff, so other than like latitude and longitude is often necessary to help figure that out where you are on the seas, and but yeah, it's just like this is gonna be very interesting now to see how this shapes all the events here too. So back to Vegapunk's Sponges, yeah, now he's just like reinvigorated all these people. Um, the last scene of actually with this last scene, I have a feeling that this scene that he Ono put in of Blackbeard is almost like him listening to that message and him smiling at, like saying, "Oh, this is it. I will be the one." And he's probably thinking, "Screw you, Whitebeard. I am the. Well, I'm obviously going to be the one to find the One Piece because Roger knew something. I mean, Whitebeard knew something that Roger told him, saying like, no, you're not the one who was meant. How do you say that? You're not the one Roger's waiting for." It was kind of like his words, but like Vegapunk is maybe more like Vegapunk never talked to Roger, so he doesn't know. But he's thinking that it's how do you say that again? He thinks there's no guarantee that it could someone else will find it. But he doesn't even, like, he wouldn't even know what it is. So like I still feel like if my gut tells me that if someone else found the One Piece, whatever that is, that there would be something there that like I almost feel like it's like the right person has to open. Let's say there's like a temple there or something, and the right person has to open it, and so if Whitebeard got there, he couldn't get inside. It'd be kind of like that. Yeah, and so it'd be Luffy would probably be the only one who can open it because it's probably if he, we know he has Joy Boy's fruit. It might only work for him. So I'm thinking, if any of this was right, Blackbeard's going to need Luffy's help. So he may want to. He may not realize this yet, but he may need Luffy to go there first to get into something. This is just my kind of hopes of how that'll work. But now, anyways, because obviously there seems like there's something there, information or something, a truth to the world. Because Rayleigh said we found something there to Robin back at Sab Odie, so we know there's something important there, and hopefully the Straw Hats are the ones that get there. But now they got a lot of competition because now Shanks is going to go there for some reason, and Shanks never went there before, right? He stayed with Buggy because Buggy got sick, right? I think that's how it was in the flashback and Odin's flashback, and then him and Buggy never went there. So they that's one other thing too. Then Buggy as far as I can think now, he does not have the poneglyph. So at this point, it's only the other emperors. Or yeah, because Blackbeard got them from Law, and Shanks got um, kids. So only those three now have the poneglyphs. So again, how I don't know how Shanks is going to decipher them, but Buggy doesn't have those. So I don't know what what his plan is to try and figure out where it is. So that'll be something to figure out too another time. So, anyways, yeah, the fallout of this is going to be really something. I was glad they showed some other areas again. I was thinking about the Skypiea as well. Like, it's interesting that they probably have no idea what's going on. But hopefully the Straw Hats have escaped now. They just got to deal with the Marines, like I said. They successfully warded off all the Gorosei. Well, Ethan's still up there. I'm still a little bit worried about Ethan right now because the Iron Giant Emmett is holding off the other two. We still don't know what he's going to do. And Saturn was blown away just now. So the Eric's can get away from him. Yeah, I don't think Saturn's going to try and swim after them. That's why he used Peter and jumped off of him in the last chapter. And yeah, Mars got blown away. So now it's just like hopefully Mars got blown far enough away that the Straw Hats and everyone can get far off from them. My next concern only then with that is they have York and the Mother Flame. I'm worried that they're going to just send that Pluton thing to Elbath because they're going to probably be able to surmise easily, hey, they're heading toward Elbath. Let's just go over there and blow the place up. So that's my one worry about that. So sorry to leave it on like a more dour note, but I'm trying to think realistically about what they're going to do next. So we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully the Straw Hats can escape. And yeah, I'll definitely be making another video now about this message. I'm going to have to like get this all done. I want to think about everything we pieced together, everything he said. So that's it for today. So thanks for watching. I can't do that.